Welcome back to the 10 Lines Podcast. I'm your boy, Jelani Line. This is episode 47. In this episode, we will be discussing Shannon Sharpe, 100 Men versus 1 Gorilla, Kanye West, and more. So make sure you watch all the way into the end so you don't miss a single thing. Also, subscribe, comment, like, and share. Introducing for the very first time a very dear friend of mine, Sarah McGrath is in the building.
Hello.
How are you feeling, Sarah?
I'm feeling good.
Feeling good? Feeling
Yeah.
great? Very good. That's what I like to hear. So Sarah, how we usually start the podcast is before we get into the topics, we usually go off of words of wisdom you might have that you might want to tell the audience or the people that might see this in the future. What you got?
Words of wisdom, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I would say
Sarah's words of wisdom.
just be nice to people.
Okay.
Listen to people when they need someone to listen to them. And don't commit fraud.
And don't commit fraud. I like it. Say that. So how many was that? That's like 3 or 4?
I guess. I don't know.
Run it back again. It was like be
just
nice.
Be nice. Listen to people when they need you to listen to them.
Mm-hmm.
Don't commit fraud. And was there another one?
I'm pretty sure there was another one, but it's fine.
I can't remember.
I like it. They can run it back if they need to know.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Don't commit fraud is a great one.
Well,
all of them are great.
I investigate fraud, so that's my number one advice.
If you don't commit fraud, Sarah won't have to be on your ass.
I won't have to get you.
There you go. My words of wisdom is prioritize your health. I literally just came from the gym from before coming to the podcast, and I feel great mentally, physically. And I might have to make that like a normal health ritual to go to the gym before coming to the podcast. I also plan to go to the gym before picking up my daughter from school. So prioritize your health is my words of the wisdom. Health is wealth, and all that good stuff.
I'm sharing now.
Okay, sounds like a plan.
We live.
Okay. Now, do me a favor. Can you hear? Like most likely you can hear, but if you want to check to see if we can hear. Now, do me a favor. There it is. There it is. Now turn that guy off.
Okay, there we go.
Perfect. So now let's get into our first topic, which is Shannon Sharpe versus 19-year-old OF girl.
And how old is Shannon Sharpe?
54.
This is already starting not great.
What do you mean by that? First impression, how do you feel? What do you mean by not great?
56-year-old man and a 19-year-old girl. I mean...
So you got a problem with age gaps?
That big of one, yeah. Okay,
gotcha. That's fine. That's fine. To each his own. Shannon Sharpe sued for $50 million over alleged rape charge allegations. Okay. So Shannon Sharpe has just been sued for allegedly raping a woman on multiple occasions, and the plaintiff in the case is asking for tens of millions in damages. The lawsuit, obtained by TMZ Sports, was filed by Jane Doe on Sunday in Nevada after she says Sharpe brutally sexually assaulted her several times at the end of 2024 and the beginning of 2025, following a years-long abusive relationship. Doe met Sharpe in 2023 at a gym in Los Angeles when she was 20 years old and he was in his 50s. There's definitely more info, but like that's a good.
So she was 20?
She is now 20. She was 19 when they met.
Oh, okay. Well, it's still kind of weird, but I mean, I guess she's legal, so.
Right, that is true. And we got different perspectives on the case, on the matter. Actually, we definitely need to hear Shannon Sharpe's his side of the story.
Oh yeah,
he's definitely got one. Give me 1 second. Do I gotta go to ACK? I think I gotta go to ACK. Anyway, before we hear what Shannon Sharpe had to say, this is someone giving advice to Shannon Sharpe. Let's see what we think about this.
Date your age. Date your age. Well, I want to date my wage. I'm finna shut all this ish down tonight. I want to date my wage.
Stay right here.
Where y'all at? Hey, Chad, where they at?
Hold on. Cause you know I keep it on me now.
Yeah.
I keep it on me. You want to date your what?
I want to date my wage, not my age. I want to date my wage. So where are they? Cause y'all always talking about date your age. I want to date my wage. So come on with it.
Well, you talking?
As a matter of fact, I'm taking applicants as we speak.
Well, you talking spicy tonight, boy. What?
Everybody always talk about date your age.
So
Well, I
that was obviously prior to the
Yeah.
incidents. It's not the best look. But is it the worst look? What do you think, Sarah? What are our thoughts?
I think that within reason an age gap is okay.
Right.
But that kind of sounded creepy.
Okay. Can you, as a woman, tell me why you feel like that much of it, 35 years of an age gap, is too much?
My dad is 30 years older than me. That's why.
Can you break it down for the people in the back?
I would feel like I was dating my dad.
Okay.
Or like my uncles or something. Like that would feel weird to me, and I don't have that much in common with them.
Well, based off of that, there is the concept that people naturally date people that remind them of their parents.
So my husband reminds me a lot of my dad, but he's not.
The only difference is the age.
Yeah, because right, but we also have a lot more in common than me and my dad have in common, right?
Okay.
Like, I find the qualities in my husband that my dad has. Like, my husband is very intelligent. He's very good at math.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't like Chinese food. My dad's very intelligent. He's very good at math. Doesn't like Chinese food.
Right.
I think that's very strange. He's also very kind and giving and loving like my dad. And we emulate the good characteristics we find in people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I respect my dad. I think he's an amazing human. So why wouldn't I want to date a person that has those characteristics?
Right.
Not that he reminds me of my dad, like, he doesn't look like my dad.
Right.
You know, I'm not attracted to my dad, but I'm attracted to my husband.
Qualities, yeah.
So it's different in that way that, like, I expect someone who's much older than me to be, like, a nurturing, fatherly figure, whereas somebody my own age, like my buddy, my pal, my husband.
Yeah.
Right? So that's kind of where I feel it's a little strange. I mean, I guess if you didn't grow up with your dad, then there's, like, you don't have anyone to compare an older man to, right? Like, you might not see them that way. So I guess there are exceptions to the rule. There are exceptions to every rule.
Right.
But without the age gap aside, in that video that I just watched, it was very aggressive.
A little aggressive. It was a little disturbing.
It was aggressive. And that's kind of why I didn't like it. Right. Like, I wouldn't want a man being so aggressive at me.
Right. Because
I've been through relationships that I dated somebody very aggressive. So that's...
Well, to be fair, he was talking to another man, so he wasn't talking to another woman.
It doesn't matter.
Does it? You don't think men talk differently, more aggressively with men than they do with women?
Sure, but that was on video.
Okay.
Right?
What does that change?
So we're on the internet right now, right? So anybody can see it.
Right.
So if you don't want to come off aggressive to women, don't put it on the internet.
Okay.
If you're aggressive with and only to men,
right,
then you're going to be aggressive only in that setting,
right,
when you're with them, and not for everyone to see.
Gotcha. I get what you're saying, but I feel like if you were sitting here with another woman, not that you would talk drastically differently. I know that if I was sitting here with other men, I would talk differently.
Yeah, locker room talk.
Right, exactly. So that was basically locker room talk.
Yeah, but it's on the internet.
Right. It could have been handled better. He could have hit up his PR team to just clean that up.
I think he needs a new one, maybe.
And I think he has one because this is his statement. Oh, what the fuck? This is a picture. That's not a video. That's crazy. Why did that not turn to a video? Oh, okay. I get why. Okay. Here we go.
To my family, friends, supporters, and colleagues, I want to speak to you
Less
directly
aggressive.
and from the heart. This is a shakedown. I'm going to be open, transparent, and defend myself because this isn't right. This is all being orchestrated by Tony Busby, who has targeted Jay-Z. Tony Busby targets black men, and I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip of a sex tape that tries to make me look guilty and play into every stereotype you could possibly imagine. That video should actually be 10 minutes or so. Hey, Tony, instead of releasing your edit, put the whole video out. I don't have it, or I would myself. You know what happened, and you're trying to manipulate the media. The encounter in question took place during the day at her invitation, and now that appears to be a deliberate setup. coordinated by Gabby, also known as Carly, on OnlyFans. Gabby and Tony Busby want $50 million. What they're getting is sued for defamation and trying to take me down. My career is all about real talk and honesty. I know my family and fans know exactly what this is about. And I'm going to be out there telling you whatever I need to say, just like I always do. I love all you guys. Thanks.
Thoughts? Less aggressive.
Less aggressive. He was coached, for
Okay.
sure.
For sure. I mean, he needed to.
Which is fine.
Which is fine.
It's fine.
Under the circumstances.
And if he truly means it, then great.
Okay.
And if he didn't do what they're accusing him of doing, then great.
Okay. What do you think about the message? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Give me your thoughts, Sarah. Sarah's thoughts.
I feel like the message could have been better. I feel like he could have not placed blame, maybe, on somebody else.
He is being sued
You
for
know?
rape.
Sure, he is being sued for rape, but I think he could have kept the other people's names out of it and just said, this is my perspective. This is where I'm coming from.
Okay.
It's not them putting this on. Well, it is them putting this on him, but I think he should have just said, I'm dealing with it in my own way. Or
Okay.
something. I don't know.
Okay.
I feel like it was, you could tell he was reading it. It didn't feel like it was from, like, sincerely from the heart.
Right.
It felt like somebody else wrote it.
Right.
And that's okay. As
Yeah.
a celebrity, sometimes you have PR teams, right? Like, presidents have people that write their speeches for them. Same type of thing. But
Right.
I don't know that was sincere, but I don't know him well enough. I've only seen 2 clips of him.
Right, which is fine. Well, the only thing is that it wasn't like really an apology because it was more so a defense,
Right.
saying that he didn't do what he's being accused of doing.
But doesn't that happen in the courtroom? Shouldn't that be where his defense is if he's being sued?
Right, but as a public figure in the eye of the public and the celebrity, whatever you want to call it, if he doesn't get ahead of it, then it looks suspicious. Like, why hasn't he said anything?
I
Blah
guess.
blah. Because obviously, like, he has to, like, he stepped away from his job at ESPN.
Yeah.
Because of all this controversy and whatnot. So it's like he's gonna, and then who knows how long before he gets into court. It's not gonna be next week. It's probably gonna be
No.
1 month from now.
Yeah.
Um.
But even still, like, people have probably already made up their minds, and that's not going to change it. You know what I mean?
Right. So, do you think that if people have, quote unquote, people have made up their minds, do you not think that damage control helps with that view? Like, there are some people that made up their minds, but there are some people that might have seen that video and like, oh, I believe him. He's telling the truth.
Yeah.
This sounds like a shakedown. Blah blah.
I think it depends on which video you saw first.
Oh, okay. Well, the first video wasn't recent. Like,
no,
it was an older
no,
video.
like, I mean, like, or I think it depends on if you saw that or the allegations, like whose side you saw first. Because if I saw
Gotcha.
that first, I probably would have went and researched it and been like, what's going on here?
Gotcha.
And then I might waffle a little bit more.
Okay.
But I think because I knew the story beforehand, as a woman, I'm kind of like,
Oof. Okay.
you know? So that's just, I want to be heard. If I had that allegation, I wouldn't want everyone to be like, oh, you're just saying it because he's a celebrity. So I need to hear both sides. I don't know what the truth is. I think
Gotcha.
from my perspective, that was scripted. That
Right.
was written for him. He was
Right.
reading off of a piece of paper.
Right.
That didn't feel like it was from his heart defending his character.
Gotcha.
I think that would have played more into people changing their minds about the situation. But
Okay. I'm not mad at that. I understand where you're coming from. Jesse on Facebook said, "What does a 19-year-old woman have to offer a 56-year-old man?"
there's one thing. It's in her pants.
Okay. You got it here first from Sarah. Jesse also says, "I feel like a man as established as Sharpe would just know better. The behavior was sketchy and so risky. Why? Question mark. That man has so many other options. I think he's feeling the consequences of his actions. Granted, the world is watching and that's tough. If he hadn't slept with her at all, then it'd be easier to defend himself." Well,
Yeah.
duh to the last sentence. Jesse says, "She's me, as I am researching if he slept with this girl at all." So I guess
Yeah.
she sees the similarity in what you're saying. We do have other clips to just browse real fast on the matter. One sec, because the people are talking about this left and right. Let's see what this guy has to say about it.
So she's old enough to be an OF model and an S3X worker, but she's not old enough to be with somebody that is older. Okay. I 110% agree that, bro, if you're in your mid-50s, early 50s, you shouldn't be messing with a 19-year-old. Point blank, period. I fully agree. But at the same time, two conversations are supposed to be had right now. And I haven't seen nobody talking about the other one. Definitely not any women. She's old enough to be doing S3X work. She's old enough to be doing OF content. She's old enough to post her body literally nude. Y'all say she's mentally mature enough to do all of that and mentally understands the repercussions of doing all of that, but not mature enough to sleep with somebody that's older than her? I just don't understand it. I think OF and all spicy websites need to be banned, point blank, period. But it's $1 trillion industry, so obviously that's not going to happen. I say move the minimum age from 18 to, I want to say 25, but obviously that's very unrealistic. Bare minimum 23, we'll say that. All I'm saying is if you're one of those people that support this line of work, and you support 18-year-olds in this line of work, but then on the other hand, you say they're not mature enough to sleep with somebody older. Again, sleep with somebody older, not date, not marry. They just slept together. It doesn't add up. It just doesn't add up. So she's old enough to be an OF model and an S3X worker.
What are our thoughts,
but she's not.
Sarah?
I mean, I agree. Whenever you're of consenting age, you could sleep with whoever you want. You could sleep with a 90-year-old if you want, albeit it might be kind of weird and gross, but...
What?
To me,
sugar daddies, he'd love to.
Right. I mean, look at all the women Hugh Hefner used to get.
But
that doesn't give the authority to that person to do something that the woman doesn't want to.
Absolutely, of course.
So I think that's kind of the other piece of this is that maybe they did go in as consenting adults and then something escalated and it turned into she's no longer wants to participate in what he's doing.
I like that response. Do you mind if I show you another clip?
No.
Shannon Sharpe signed a $100 million contract and immediately got sued for $50 million by a woman who said that he assayed her. Then he dropped them text messages, cleared it all up. I bet her lawyer was like, but when you listen to the story, right? Like, it never made sense. He aggressively pursued you in the gym. Okay. Right. We're just going to take that as truth. So, like, all right, you gave him your number. Then y'all were texting. He asked you to sign an NDA. You said no. He said cool. Invited you over his house. You drove to his house. And you've only ever met him in the gym. And y'all was texting. You drove to his house. You're 19. He's 50-something. You drove to his house. He opened the door, didn't say a word to you, walked up the stairs, and you followed him. You got up to his bedroom. He went in the bathroom. When he came out, he laid in the bed. You didn't know what to do. So you laid in the bed. And nothing happened for about 10 minutes. Then he essayed you in the bed with the lights off. There was a second encounter where you went to his house again. Mind you, you said you were essayed the first time you went to his house. And then you went to his house again. You said you showed up 5 minutes late, and as soon as you walk in the house, he started yelling at you, and he grabbed you by your neck and started taking it. Ooh, this is crazy. And then Shannon Sharpe said, baby. Here y'all go. Here go the text messages. She freaked out, I'm freaked out, we freaked out. One thing that I had, though, was consent. Thank you all for coming. Shannon Sharpe signed a $100 million contract and immediately got sued.
What do we think? Sarah, talk to me.
Where is that side of the story coming from?
The text messages.
There were texts saying that between the two of them?
Yeah, different thing. Like she's dropping voicemails or like not even voicemails, but like they're on the phone. She's recording it. Oh my God!
Was this a business transaction?
That's a good question. That's a good question. I don't know. I don't think.
I think that changes a lot if it is.
How? Talk to me, Sarah.
I think if she's being paid by him, there's more incentive for her to go back.
So is it? But what does that mean? If she is being paid by him, does that make it grape?
If she said no, or if she said she didn't want to do it anymore, or she changed her mind.
But then why would she come?
Well, that's what I mean. Like, so the first time, was she being paid for it?
Mm-hmm.
People will do a lot of stuff for money, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, you see sex workers all the time on the streets that go with the same Johns that abuse them and pay them. If they need money, they're going to go back.
Right.
So if I don't know. If she's being paid for it, that's her incentive to go back.
No, it gets deeper. Just a little bit deeper. Depends on who's hearing the information. So I gotta find the guy because the guy gives it up properly. All right, so apparently this is what makes it kind of messy, and I can't when it does go to court, it's just gonna be even more what do we do with this type of situation? Because apparently when they were interactive, it was I'm trying to think of a good word. Aggressive.
Okay, yeah.
But consent, possibly consensually aggressive, but it's hard to explain. The clip will do better.
Okay.
Shannon Sharpe sued for $50 million over alleged you know what. Now, this clearly did not happen. This is a shakedown. But as a hater, I realize sometimes people deserve to get shook down. And Shannon, unfortunately, you are a dummy of the day. Or Rip, you 50-something, she 19. That's younger than your youngest kid. So you already on some freak of the week, kinky type shit. But then to see the text she was sending you, I mean, as soon as I read, put a dog collar around my neck and choke me with it while you're fucking me, I'm like, oh yeah, y'all two into some freak dominatrix type shit. So clearly she never got you know what. But she's now going to financially extort you. And to think that these was the good text messages. I know you missed this big juicy ass $25K for each cheat. It's like, the fuck was y'all talking about? Immediately you knew she had a link in her bio, which you know what that means. That's OF, which means she's already financially extorting motherfuckers. She's 19 years old. She didn't even give life a try. So this is what she's going to be doing for life. And to think that you came in there like, oh yeah, I'm a Shannon Sharpe pump this shit. Like, nah, son, you getting set up. I want you to put a big black baby in me. Put that big black baby in me. See, this is a, this is like one of them, they racially fucking each other. Like, yeah, you like this slave dick? Yeah, go ahead. Give me that nigga dick, please. It's just like, oh shit. I mean, I get it. I get your case, but for you to sit there, 50-something, like, how the fuck you ain't know what's gonna happen? And guess what? You probably taking money out your own pockets. You still gonna sign a big deal, but the fact that you let this happen, this is your fault. 50-something to 19 is fucking egregious. Now, 10, 12-year difference. Even if you 30, dating an 18, 19-year-old, that's fucking weird. Now, when you get to 40, dating 30, or even 35, dating 25, 26, okay, now y'all both grown. So they can't even legally drink yet. I'm a hater, not a liar. I want to see you win, son. I love to see black athletes thrive after they finish their career and find their space in media and really put a voice. But it's just like, calm your horny ass down, boy. Like, what the fuck? She even got you on phone call talking about, yeah, you say manipulating again, I'm going to choke your ass out. And you ain't, like, hear the big pause? It's just, I don't want to be choked. Immediately, I'm like, hold on. We be damn near racially fucking the shit out of each other, saying the most ridiculous shit. Now you don't want to be choked? You don't got a choice in the matter. It's just like, Unc is on freak mode 1,000% of the time. And then for you to take the extra step, go on video and be like, yeah, there could be a sex tape dropping very soon. I'm just going to say, you're going to hear some wild shit. It's just like, oh, man, this boy Mephistophelian character, son. He wildin'. You may be cooked, my boy. Go your role and go get someone your own age, or else you're going to be out of a job and out of a lot of money. Sometimes people deserve to be extorted. This time, it was you. As a hater, that's just the honest truth. Shannon Sharpe sued for $50 million over a
more context. What do we think, Sarah? First impression, what do we think? I want to hear you. I want to hear what the thoughts by Sarah McGrath.
I literally.
You processing?
I just, yeah.
Okay.
Like,
Give me a minute to process.
What the fuck is like what went through my head? I don't even know. Like,
Which part? Yeah, that's
the
honestly.
whole thing is just messy.
Yeah, everybody feels that way. That's why the clips are important, because I could tell you what happened, but if I tell you what happened, I'm missing like layers to it. So it's like I feel like you've watched 3 clips where you like gotten more information each time.
Every time.
So it's like, where are you now?
I still feel like the reason she went back is because she was getting some type of monetary compensation for it.
Perhaps. I mean, that's honestly
right.
That
I
makes
think
sense.
That's why she went back the second time, and maybe the first time was aggressive, but not aggressive enough for her to be scared, if you will. You know what I mean? Because some people are into that. So she was like, "All right, well, he didn't like truly physically hurt me or assault me." Maybe that's what she was thinking. I don't know. I wasn't there, obviously. But
obviously.
I don't know. It's weird. It's messy. I don't even know what to think. I
don't even know what to think. Okay. With
I-
all the information provided, do you think he did it? Do you think it was not consensual? Do you think this is a money grab, or do you think this is a real case? Like, he really did that against her will, and whatever the case may be is. With all the with the different clips that you've heard and hear how the nature of their relationship.
I don't know.
Okay.
I think maybe it started out as consensual and ended no longer consensual.
Okay.
That's what I think.
Okay.
Just from what I have. I don't know. Maybe it'll change my mind during the court case or something if they air it or whatever.
Well, we'll see whenever the hell that happens.
It's got to be high profile, right?
Because Diddy, we're still waiting on Diddy's case.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're even like caught up with that or whatever, like dabble in that. Yeah. But yeah, hopefully it's not like a year away. Hopefully it's like within the next 12 months. Yeah.
That would be nice.
Right.
But I don't know what to think.
Right.
But I feel like that's with everything.
Yeah.
Right? Like, we only get bits and pieces. Like, she's only going to share things that
benefit her.
And he's only going to share things that benefit him.
Of course.
So.
But that's what is, you can only share so much. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? If something happened, and it's like if one person is right and one person is wrong, then like there's only so much of the person that is wrong can share. You know what I mean? If they're guilty,
right?
So it's like, I don't know. He might, I don't know. We'll see how. Hopefully, whatever happens is like the right call.
Yeah.
The justice is being served.
I agree.
It's a just decision and whatnot. Anything else on the matter of Shannon Sharpe and the 19-year-old OF girl? No.
I have to let this process.
Gotcha. Well, very cool. If you're on Facebook or YouTube, make sure you comment or state an opinion or ask questions and whatnot, because we are doing this live and we will be responding. Let me see. I think Jessie had another comment. She said, "It is societal. We sexualize women so early. She might not be mentally old enough to do that, but the world isn't ready for that." Anything on that?
I agree. Okay.
Yeah. She said her frontal lobe isn't fully developed. He is old enough to know better. Even just 10 years older, I'm making way better decisions than I was at 21. Young people are so indecisive. See, this is why I want to know how if men are angry before I want to go to their house. I stand on that. You can put yourself in danger in these situations. She is just very young. I pray this didn't happen to her, but it's risky behavior on both sides.
Yeah.
It's agreeable. All right, so let's get into the next topic since we are wrapped that one up. 100 men versus one gorilla. Have you seen that? Like, that's like a real topic nowadays. Like a trending ass topic. 100 men versus one gorilla. Who do you think will win?
100 men.
Ooh, okay, Sarah, that's a hot take because everyone else said one gorilla.
Well, humans have weapons.
No weapons.
Oh, no weapons?
No weapons.
Then the gorilla.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you sure you need to think about it, you need to process it, or you just...
No, because I was thinking that the humans were allowed to bring weapons.
No weapons. hand to hand.
Have you ever seen a gorilla?
Maybe
They're
like once.
aggressive.
Yeah, I mean, but it's 100. Have you ever seen 100 men?
Well, it could be like 100 puny men.
No, but
If it were 100 on my husband, they would win.
That was sappy. Well, let's say, I say 100 jacked men.
Yeah.
100 jacked men would win?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you are low-key indecisive, but we're going to figure this out.
It depends on the situation. I think it depends on who is fighting.
But I'm saying, so let's say 100, let's say 100 fighters.
100, like, UFC
Sure.
fighters?
Yeah. Let's go with that. Okay.
I don't know.
Okay. You went from gorilla to men to I don't know. Okay.
I don't know anymore.
Well,
Is there a video?
at least that's honest. Yeah, I just gotta figure out which one is
did
which.
anyone do the simulation?
No, I don't think so. I thought I might have
Oh.
seen one, but not like any like really good ones. Like they should really. I want to say they should test it out, but you can't do that. Like it's not gonna end well.
What if we had 100 volunteers?
The thing, Mr. Beast does shit like that. That's why it's like 100. You do 100 men versus 1 million, or one gorilla win $1 million. That's the type of shit Mr. Beast does.
Also, I wouldn't want the gorilla to get hurt.
Wow. Okay. I mean, that's fair.
Because it didn't volunteer knowingly. It doesn't know what's happening to it.
Right. Well, that is you got
Animal rights.
you got good takes.
I just woke up.
That. I don't think that's it anyway. Where are we at with 100 men versus gorilla? Y'all would have to bail me out. That ain't it. Maybe I don't have 100 men versus gorilla. I'm surprised. Just because it's like it's all over my TikTok, so it's like I don't even pay attention to it at this point.
I haven't seen it.
Are you on TikTok?
Yeah.
Maybe because I'm like on a guy's side of TikTok.
Oh, maybe.
Because that shit is like I can't even like swipe without seeing it.
I'm sure we have different algorithms.
Let's see about this. This is one. There's actually a couple. See, even on my likes, there's a couple. We gotta test. We gotta see like at least 3.
Okay.
I don't think you guys understand the absolute carnage that would occur if 100 men tried to fight a silverback gorilla. The average U.S. male is 5'9", 200. Yes,
Stats.
I did search average male size. Grow up. The average silverback gorilla is 5 feet, 430 pounds, right? So off rip, we have the height advantage. And as you see, gorillas, they usually move on 4 limbs, so they're probably pretty slow, right? So we could run around, tire them out, and then jump on them? Yeah, no, they're running at 23 miles an hour. For men, we only got like 19.5 miles per hour, and that is pretty quick. And that's only talking about approach, running up. But everything changes when we get into combat. Now, for the men, we can probably kick way harder and have better form than a gorilla, right? But gorillas have fangs, man. And these are not for show. They have a bite force of 1,300 PSI. That is more than a grizzly bear and a polar bear. But that only comes into play if the gorilla grabs you. And if a gorilla grabs you, you might be able to slip away, right? No, because gorillas are 9 times stronger than the average human. And they can lift or throw objects up to 1,763 pounds. That is almost 9 dudes piled on top of the gorilla. He can just get up. And we're not even talking about the mental approach. Because as soon as that one dude gets grabbed and gets dribbled off of the ground, it's over. I know I'd run, and they'd probably catch me. But I'm sorry, there is no way 100 guys can beat one gorilla. I don't think you guys understand the absolute carnage that would occur.
Thoughts?
I agree with him.
Okay.
I've seen a gorilla in a zoo.
And
That's about it.
did you see? I'm about to say, did you see him fight anybody?
No, I did see one throw its own poop at another one though. That was kind of gross.
Dirty.
Yeah, they're nasty.
Yeah, I believe it.
But they can be really sweet or they can be very aggressive.
I've seen like monkeys be sweet. I haven't seen gorillas be sweet. Like
I've seen videos of gorillas like that have babies.
right, sweet to their people.
And like bring the baby over to other people that had babies and be like, look, I have
cute.
one too.
I like that.
But like we're strangers to them. You know,
Right.
like if we came into their land, they're gonna be defensive right
Right.
off the bat.
And honestly,
so-
they're like they deal with like poachers and like
Yeah.
people are like real shitty to gorillas. So that makes sense. Don't want to get you like sentimental or emotional, but
Yeah, I love them.
Animals?
I think they're so beautiful.
do you love animals or do you love gorillas?
I love both.
Gotcha. I mean, okay. You got pets?
I have a cat.
Oh, you're a cat lady. Look at that. That's funny.
I like dogs too.
All right, let me do at least one or two more. Do I have? I thought I had another one. I know I have another one, but I thought I had another one after that. I don't know what I'm scrolling. All right, here we go.
Now we got a crazy topic that's going around TikTok. 100 men versus one gorilla. You talking about a silverback? You guys know who Brock Lesnar is? Bobby Lashley? Arnold Schwarzenegger? All we need is a doctor that can get them serums. And that gorilla is Big Chicken. He's on the grill before the sunset. We gonna be eating some silverback chicken nuggets. Have you ever had some silverback short rack ribs? After 10 Brock Lesnar built niggas hit him with an uppercut, he's in the air. And off of that, he's taking fall damage. He's got. Now we got a crazy topic that's going around TikTok. 100 men.
Does he have a point? Do you see his point?
I see his point, but I also think that that gorilla is stronger than 5 Brock Lesnars.
I don't know what Brock Lesnar is. He's got to be.
Yeah, he's a fighter.
Okay.
He's pretty big.
Okay. Big guy. One more. Last one.
The 100 men versus one gorilla debate got me so dead. Like, it's not even what y'all saying. It's the comments. It's y'all forgetting that gorillas can bite. Like, y'all are not surviving the 100 gorillas. I seen this comment and it literally said there needs to be like 10, the first 10 men have to just be sacrificed, like off rip. The next 20 plus people have to be prepared to have life-altering injury. Y'all are not surviving a gorilla, bro. I don't know what y'all think this is, but no one's surviving a gorilla, bro. The 100 men versus one gorilla debate.
That's funny.
If you are on YouTube right now, let me know if you guys think that 100 men could beat one gorilla or not. A subtopic from the 100 men versus one gorilla is 100 women versus accountability.
A lot of niggas talking about 100 men versus one gorilla. Man versus dog. Can we get 100 women versus accountability? Holy shit! That is one of the battles of all fucking battles. Shit! A lot of niggas talking about 100 men versus one gorilla.
What do you think?
Man
about
versus
that?
dog.
What are your thoughts?
I don't know what he's talking about.
So basically, it's a subtopic of the 100 men versus gorilla. Like they're saying the equivalent, to 100 men versus a gorilla is one gorilla is 100 women to accountability. Basically saying that women don't really take accountability. Generally speaking, how do you feel about that? Agree or disagree?
Disagree.
You think that women take accountability?
I think.
Or like majority of women take accountability?
I think the majority of women take accountability for things, and I think there's also women that don't take accountability for things. I think if you take 100 women that do take accountability for things, then yeah, like that situation is going to be better than 100 women that historically don't take accountability for things. So
that makes sense.
I think men don't take accountability for things, and some men do take accountability for things. So
what do you think is higher of a percentage, women that take accountability or men that take accountability?
Women. For sure.
For sure, okay.
For sure.
That's funny. Perhaps. That's I swear to you, like the one gorilla versus 100 men is just as is as trending as 100 women versus accountability. Like it's that much of a topic. I mean, it's not exactly the same because it came from that.
Yeah.
But it's like it's also trending is what I mean to say. It's very entertaining, to say the least.
So who do you think would win?
What?
Who do you think would win?
The comments are hilarious. They would say they're saying accountability.
No, I
sweeps
mean
women.
the gorilla.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the women versus the accountability. With the facts given, I have to give it to the gorilla. Like I would root for the men, but I would have to give it to the gorilla because
I'd root for the gorilla.
probably because that shows where your lines lie. So
I
it's
love
like
gorillas.
That's funny. Like that's funny.
But they don't have a choice. They don't know. You know, they're not going out seeking 100 men. The 100 men were going out seeking the one gorilla.
I mean, it happens. That's like saying when they hunt for prey, like the prey doesn't be like, oh, I asked for this. Like that's a part of the life.
They're both uncivilized animals. Like, we're civilized. We should know better than
Are
that.
we?
Well. Quote unquote civilized.
I mean, we should be anyway, but if
right.
if 100 men versus one gorilla is a trending ass topic around the
weird.
world, it's probably not.
Yeah,
We're not the most civilized.
Like, why are we even thinking about that?
I don't know.
That brings up something that I actually was thinking about this morning.
What?
Because gorillas made me think of Donkey Kong.
Okay.
But why is it called Donkey Kong if he's not a donkey?
I think that's just his name.
Who named him that?
I don't know. The people who invented Mario. You know, Mario is You know what Mario's last name is?
No.
Mario.
It's Mario.
It's Mario Brothers.
Oh. Yeah. Oh, that's true.
Wild.
Huh. So Luigi Mario?
I guess.
I didn't know that.
I think that's. I mean, it's just. I don't like. It's just a plot hole. I want to say because why would you do that? That's kind of like dumb. But you like Donkey Kong. That's kind of like why is his name Donkey Kong? Like he's not Donkey.
Yeah, shouldn't he be like Monkey Kong?
Maybe they thought that was too much. Like, because of King Kong? Like, I'm assuming he's like...
Oh, right.
Yeah, but I don't know.
I don't know. That was just a random ADHD thought that popped into my head.
Do you have ADHD?
Yeah.
Really? You don't seem like you do.
I do.
You seem like you're way too focused to have ADHD.
Oh, no, I'm not.
Yeah, are you on meds?
No.
Were you diagnosed with ADHD?
Yeah.
You don't give ADHD like at all. Like, at all.
Well, I've learned to mask it really well. So
okay, well there you go. There you have it. Let's get into this one.
Oh god.
Sarah, if you were in the woods by yourself, what would you rather? A strange man like as an stranger?
Oh, not the man or bear.
Or a bear.
Okay, hold on.
This is the animal.
I gotta think about this because this could go either way for me.
I'm listening. I'm just here. This is your question that I'm listening to.
Well, I'd probably say the bear.
Why?
Because bears are generally scared of humans.
Says who?
Science.
Okay.
If you make a loud noise by a bear, they run away.
That's what
I lived in the woods and there were bears, and we were told if a bear comes, just bang some pots together and they'll go away.
Okay, I like that.
Strange men, sometimes they just don't go away.
Okay, that's funny. Gotta do a quick Google search on that one. Generally, bears are not naturally aggressive towards humans and often try to avoid them. Ooh, look at that. Okay, so
you're supposed to make yourself big and loud.
I heard the big thing. I thought that was like a myth because that sounds crazy. But all right, well I like that, but at the same time, if you were stuck in the middle of the woods, you would prefer a bear. A bear's not going to help you.
I can help myself.
Okay, that's good. You're better than me.
I was a Girl Scout.
Were you really? No.
Yeah. Yes,
you
I
really?
Was.
That's OD. That's like
I was.
That's just something people say most of the times. That's good for you.
I was a Girl Scout.
How many badges did you get?
A lot. I had my whole sash filled. I still have it.
When did you get out of that? Like,
I was probably like 11 or 12.
I like it.
Softball took over, and that was my whole life. So
that's good stuff.
Yeah.
Fun fact: Sarah was a Girl Scout. Did you sell Girl Scout cookies?
Yeah, they were much cheaper back then.
I'm about to say they say that's a scam. They say
that was in the 90s, so
I like it.
They were like probably $2 a box instead of $5, and they were much bigger back then.
That is good stuff. I'm here for it. Anything else on the gorillas or the bears or the accountability? Anything?
No.
Okay. That is fine. All right, let's get into Kanye West. So this week, I don't know. If you're not familiar with Kanye West has gone on a spree of what is it? Not contradictory, but controversial, either rants or escapades or endeavors or shenanigans, whatever you can think of. Because he has dressed up as a Ku Klux Klan member, but in black, so it's like a twist.
Okay.
He has worn a swastika shirt and bust down a swastika chain.
Wasn't he selling swastika shirts on like a website?
I think so, but I think that got like banned or something like that.
Yeah.
Also, he is screaming "Free Diddy," and we're like, I think he might have a collab with Sean John, but he was definitely repping like rocking Sean John, which is Diddy's merch and whatnot, clothing brand. That's the top things. I mean, he was obviously with the swastika stuff. He was like saying that Hitler wasn't a bad guy and different things of that nature and whatnot. There's a lot. It's been a lot. It's been a long year, aka 4 months.
Unhinged.
But the newest of things is Kanye's Twitter tweet or X, whatever you want to call it. And I quote, "This song is called Cousins, about my cousin that's locked in jail for life for killing a pregnant lady a few years after I told him we wouldn't, quote unquote, look at dirty magazines together anymore. Perhaps in my self-centered mess, I felt it was my fault that I showed him those dirty magazines when he was 6, and then we acted out what we saw. My dad had Playboy magazines, but the magazines I found in the top of my mom's closet were different. My name is Ye, and I sucked my cousin's you-know-what till I was 14. Tweet." So,
Okay.
What are your thoughts on that, Sarah?
That is some deranged words.
Now let's break it down. Why is it deranged?
I mean,
Psychologically, why is it deranged? What makes it deranged?
well, first of all, why did he, where did he get the thought to do that from?
The magazines, apparently.
Was it from the magazines though?
That's what he says. That's based off according to the story.
But we'll never know that, right?
I guess not.
Yeah.
I mean, but according to the story that we have, that's where it's from.
I think he has a untreated mental illness that he's probably had his whole life.
Okay.
And I mean, that's his cousin, so.
That's his cousin, so.
That's even grosser than if it wasn't his cousin.
Okay. So if it wasn't his cousin, would it be okay?
No, it's still. I mean, especially at that age.
Okay.
If they're older, obviously it's fine because they're not cousins.
Right.
But if they're cousins, it's not good at any age.
Gotcha.
So.
You know what's funny? It's like, I don't know how deep I want to get into this conversation, but off rip, like, the thought that comes to mind is it's not okay. Like, incest is societally not okay, which, and like, honestly, like, I want to say medically not okay.
Yeah.
We're like definitely as far as like reproductively not okay.
Mm-hmm.
But if they're gay, there's no chance of reproduction.
That's true, but it's still your family.
But if it's based upon reproduction, like if that's the reason, because outside of reproduction, like it's the risk of reproduction and the baby or the product of those relations that is really why it's frowned upon, in my opinion. Like, or not in my opinion, from what I gather.
Yeah.
Like, outside of that, I think that it is also against the law. Is it against the law?
I think so. It's like beyond third cousin, it's not, I think, or something like that.
That's funny as like a specification.
But I don't really know.
I know, but like,
and I'm pretty sure it differs in different states, right?
Is incest got How did you really? I thought I heard that. That's funny. Is incest illegal? The first thing it says is it illegal in New York? That's so funny. In Monroe, New York, incest is generally criminalized, particularly.
Why just there?
I don't know why it specified that. Let me say in the U.S. In the U.S., yes, incest is illegal in most U.S. states.
Why does it say most?
Especially because it's not all when involving a parental figure or a minor. However, there are exceptions. In New Jersey and Rhode Island, incest between consenting adults 16 or over in Rhode Island, 18 or over in New Jersey is not a criminal offense. Though marriage remains prohibited. It gets deep when you just... Ohio's law specifically targets parental figures. So the parental figures is the crazy part. Like, that's like, wow. All right, this is getting too
yeah, this is crazy.
Too highbrow for this crowd.
We should specifically look up if you can marry your cousin.
Okay. Can you specifically marry your cousin? Can you marry your cousin in the U.S.?
Can you marry your cousin in the U.S.?
Why marry? Can you marry?
I just want to.
Okay. Can you marry your cousin in the U.S.? This is probably like, that was before I typed in cousin, it was already there. So this is probably.
Okay, that's interesting.
In the U.S., the legality of marrying your cousin varies by state.
Of course.
First cousin marriages are legal.
In
18 states. That's crazy and funny as hell.
Yeah, that is. I could never marry. My cousins are like my brothers to me.
In other states, they are either illegal or allowed with specific conditions like age requirements or genetic counseling. I don't even know what that is. States where first cousins marriage is legal: Alabama, California,
Cali,
Colorado, Connecticut, District of Columbia, Florida, Georgia, Hawaii, Maryland, Massachusetts. This is like damn near half the country. Or half the country. Like, this is wild. New Jersey, New Mexico, New York. Oh shit!
I want to see what the statistics are of how many cousins actually marry. No, we don't have to. I just like that is
that's gonna be your homework.
Yeah, I'm gonna like look that up because that's interesting to
me.
me.
What do you mean? How many cousins actually marry? Like
I
the
want to know
statistics
like,
of
what
it?
the statistic is. Like, okay. Does it actually happen a lot? You know?
I mean, I'm about to do it now because like that's. I feel like it's gonna be low because of
societal acceptance.
Like because that's like how many cousins engage in that. Like that's gonna be low. So it's like it. Right. I feel like it'll only be high if you like made the ratio like cousins who engage in that and then get married. You know what I mean? Like yeah. Like if you do it, if it's broad at like just cousins, regular cousins, like it's probably like 1 in hopefully 50 that like don't like that engage in that or whatever.
More. Yeah.
But good stuff. Who knew we were gonna talk about?
This is
cousins.
This is really taking a turn.
Cousins relations and whatnot. Oh, all because of Kanye. Oh,
yay.
So, do you know who A$AP Ferg is?
No.
All right, he's a rapper from New York. He said, good for Kanye West. Now you can be whole. When people start to act out, you never know the root of the issue. Sending love, brother. You're a goat. How do we feel about that?
I think he makes a good point. There's obviously something that happened in his childhood that's been affecting his mental health, and he's acting out against it. However, when you're a grown adult, you have the opportunity to make choices of how you're going to let it affect you. You can choose to let it affect you and act in an unsavory manner, or you can choose to go to therapy and deal with it.
I like it. So he has decisions and he has opportunities. And if he doesn't choose to take those opportunities, that is his doing, basically. Let me show you this and see what you think. It's a clip. We love the clips here. And they're talking about the topic we are talking about currently.
Marrying cousins or Kanye?
Both.
Okay.
Kanye West just made a very startling revelation. So he posted a song to his ex account and he captioned it with this. He said, "This song, Cousins, is about my cousin that's locked up in jail for life for killing a pregnant lady a few years after I told him we wouldn't look at dirty magazines together anymore. Perhaps in my self-centered mess, I felt it was my fault that I showed him those dirty magazines when he was 6, and then we acted out what we saw. My dad had a Playboy magazine, but the magazines I found at the top of my mom's closet were way different. My name is Ye, and I sucked my cousin's dingling till I was 14.
The tweet was way better than the song.
Yeah.
And when I first saw that story yesterday, I thought to myself, what am I supposed to do with this information? Like, I don't want Kanye to tweet. I want Kanye to go get help. If he needs help, he needs to go get help. He's got all the resources. He's had all of the money. He's got all of the access to the best help. Go get help. Until he does that, everything I see him do and say just seems like a publicity stunt to me.
Well, I mean, it seems like he's trying to release and let things off his chest. But let me ask you, he said he showed his cousin the book, and then he did it to his cousin. So he is taking advantage of his cousin. That's what pretty much he said.
Yeah, until he was 14 years old. And, I mean...
What do you mean taking advantage of them?
Because if he gave his cousin the book and he did it to his cousin, he actually did it to his cousin.
Yeah. I thought he said they were doing it together. I thought he said
They were reenacting.
Yeah, reenacting.
Saw in the magazines, but he said he took the blame of showing the cousin this. Like, yo, this is what I want to do to you.
He said, we acted out what we saw, and then he said, my name is Jay, and I sucked my cousin's dingling until I was 14.
I want the record to show I was on this radio one time, and I said that, so many of Kanye's publicity stunts are falling short that eventually he's going to do his own sex tape, and I said that he was going to be on video trying to suck his own. Remember I said
say that, yes.
So I'm close.
No.
I thought that was funny.
That man need help.
Yeah. And until he gets it, everything he does seems like a publicity stunt.
Yeah. And I just wonder
why do we need this information?
If the people closest to him, if they still care about the money, or if they really care about getting this man help. Because
y'all don't think he's trying to, I don't know. To Justin's point, you don't think he's just trying to promote a record?
They're going to stream the song. At the end of the day, it's a win-win for him.
And this is a new angle. He never tried the gay angle before.
Family business.
He's tried everything.
Well, he was saying he was gay when he was younger, but he grew out of it.
He did say that?
Or he...
Well, no. If you're stuck in pain until you're 14, it's like, come on.
I don't know what the point of the tweet was, y'all, but the people are coming... Gather thyself. Come back to the altar, okay? Boosie has come out in support. He said he feels bad for Kanye. Yeah. He's been through some stuff as a child. That's why his mind is so messed up. A$AP Ferg came out and said, good for Kanye West. Now you can be whole. When people start to act out, you never know the root of the issue. Sending love to brother. You're a GOAT.
Until that brother goes out there and really goes to get some help, it just seems like everything he does is a publicity stunt.
So,
Thoughts?
He needs help.
Okay.
He's always needed help.
Yeah.
I feel like if you're that young doing those things, that it's come from somewhere else. I don't think he just saw it in a magazine, and I think maybe something else happened to him. I don't know. But either way, that is a significant thing that happens in a young person's life that they need therapy for, and he's never gotten help. So yeah, he's acting out, and I think he just, like he said, he's got all the resources.
Right. I hear
He's
you.
just choosing not to get the help because of whatever is in his brain.
I think you're right. I think he could definitely benefit from some help. I think, however, I do think that he's it's convenient because like Charlemagne said, he's never. They used it as the quote unquote the gay.
Yeah, the gay angle.
The gay angle, but also based off like Envy said, like he said that it's not even like he said that somebody did that to him, somebody essayed him.
He did it.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like it's not. He's really not the victim in that. Like.
Yeah.
So and I also think that I don't know. I just think that like I'm not a huge Kanye fan because of the stunts like that or and the KKK outfit and the fucking swastikas and all these different weird ass angles and whatnot. So I feel like he needs help, but I do think that at this point I don't think that he wants help. I think that he wants the publicity and the attention and this, that, and the other thing because there was another tweet that he had that was like after that and I'm sure I can't find it now, but I had it and I screenshotted it. So if I could find it, that'd be great, but I can't. But it was basically saying like he felt that being the victim or having people like reach out to him like is boring, like in concern or whatever. Like he quote unquote likes being hated or whatever. It was like one of those. Like I had the same face, so it's just like I don't know. It's very weird, and honestly, it had the whole tweet was about or had to do with his song called Cousins. I didn't listen
Right,
to it,
yeah.
but Charlemagne in that clip said that the tweet was better than the song or
Yeah.
whatever. So it's just like it's always unfortunately an angle and whatever, and it's like unfortunately Kanye is like supposedly like a music legend, but I feel like the price of fame is really his biggest trauma.
I think his music is annoying.
Okay. I mean, I can agree. I honestly can agree with that now.
Yeah.
I think his music has changed over time to the point where it is
it's
annoying.
just weird now.
Right now, it's like I think like because he's more concerned with. I don't know. I'm not in Kanye's mind, but go ahead.
I know what you're saying. I think he's more concerned with being like wild and out there instead of like when he was making music to satisfy the masses and what people like. Now he just wants to be insane and different. That's it.
You know what? I agree. I definitely agree.
And now people don't want to listen to his music because it's not like good. So now he's putting these things out for people to go be like, now I need to listen to that song to see what it is about.
Right, because there's definitely going to be, whether you and I don't listen to it, there's definitely going to be a percentage of the population that does go listen to it and whatnot.
Right. I'm not going to listen to it. I'm taking a stand.
Oh, you're boycotting? You're boycotting Kanye?
Yeah.
Now, the funny thing is before this tweet, maybe March 23rd, so about a month ago, Iggy Azalea and Kanye had a little bit of a rift on Twitter, and I wonder what Sarah would say with this about this tweet by Iggy Azalea. Iggy Azalea says, "It's crazy how much I actually know about that man," referring to Kanye, and the things I could say. "Thankfully, I'm nice and don't want to involve people who don't deserve to be mixed into his manic episode. But let's keep it cute because I know who you send your penis pictures to and the weird fantasies you have / share with other men. Most of Hollywood does. It's not a very well-kept secret."
Oh.
Now, after this fast forward to now with this new Kanye tweet, do you feel like there's truth to Iggy Azalea's tweet?
Yeah.
Okay.
I do. You know what? And it's sad to say, but maybe he is wrestling with the fact that he truly is gay.
Hot take.
And maybe because I mean, like, look at all of the men in like the 50s, 60s when it wasn't like societally acceptable. Like, it is more now, and there are some places where being gay is not acceptable still.
Right.
But if you think about it, like, think of the sheer number of like serial killers that have gay tendencies.
I don't frequent on serial killer documentaries.
Well, some people might, but that is a big thing.
Can you give me like a round number? Or
oh God,
it's a lot.
There's a lot.
Okay.
Like, they're so like in their world of hiding.
So Sarah's saying that gay people are serial killers?
No, I'm saying closeted people may act out because they're holding this deep secret.
Right. I'm not.
And maybe not so much.
I was messing with you with the first answer.
Yeah.
But as far as seriously, what do you feel like closeted people, because they're so hellbent or like, I don't know, have different traumas or don't want to come out or like address the fact or admit that they're gay or whatever, that is what makes them kill people or drives them to?
I don't think that specifically makes it. Well, I think it clearly makes them have mental health issues, right? And mental health issues can affect you in so many ways. It can make you act out, it can make you do drugs, it can make you commit suicide, it can make you kill people, it can do a lot of things. So I think it can make you act out and say crazy things and do extravagant, wild things for attention, whether it's good attention or bad attention. You know, it's like children who are starving for attention. They don't care if it's good or bad. They're getting attention, whether they're good or bad. So I think that might be a take on Kanye. Maybe he is closeted. I don't know. And he's grappling with this. It's affecting his mental health. And that's where we're at.
I think that's a really good take, honestly, because that is like, that explores like a different angle and a different like explanation to why he feels the need to lash out. And honestly, like, more tweets, like, I wasn't gonna like bring up because they're not as relevant as this one, but he is. But I feel like it's so the initial thing that you want to say is that Kanye is looking for attention and looking for a reaction, looking for notoriety and things of that nature.
Yeah.
But no one actually, and then the no one actually thinks deeply for the why, because the why is always like his mom died young, or when he was younger and he's suffering from that, or he just wants attention, blah blah. But I feel like the closeted angle is so like a decent take, because he's always either bashing other men or like super like not even congratulating, but like sucking up to other men or whatever. And like sometimes he'll like it's one thing that's happening right now is that him and Drake have had beef. And Kendrick.
I'm just breathing.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you didn't like Drake or something.
No.
But, him and Kendrick has always praised Kanye, but Kendrick has taken the stance that, especially after Kendrick won the beef between him and Drake, and Kendrick also performed the Super Bowl, Kanye has taken a stance against Kendrick and for Drake, even though they've had their beef and whatnot, and Drake doesn't really mess with Kanye. So it's a unique angle that like perhaps Kanye may look at Drake in a different light than most people do. Like he might favor him a little bit more than most, or you know what I mean? Like so it's like, I don't know, it's a lot. He needs to I think he definitely, the thing with Kanye is he doesn't sit down with anybody that will really ask him questions that will like challenge him. That he sets it up to make him look make himself look good, and he not to really take any accountability, any of that nature. But it'll be interesting to see him sit down. Honestly, I feel the same thing needs to happen with Drake, because he's not as crazy as, it doesn't act as crazy as Kanye, but he does questionable things. I'm like, what is good with you, bro?
I think I was just thinking about this too. You know how Kanye like over sexualizes Bianca? That's his wife, right?
Yeah. Does he? I mean, and I think he does too. But is it him over sexualizing her, or is she? Because it's at the end of the day, she has free will.
She does. Well, oh, we think she does, right?
We think she does.
Yeah.
Could she not?
I mean, she could feel trapped, right? She could feel like if she doesn't do these things, something bad might happen to her.
Like,
I don't know, something, anything.
Okay. I mean,
there's a whole world of possibilities.
How does she? Well, that's funny. I mean, honestly, this year should be interesting. I feel like it's been interesting, like, already. But as far as Kanye is considered, like, what if he does come out, like, legit come out in the like this year? But also, the quote unquote the damage that he's done is like, I think that it's damage. Like, it's obviously damage to his career and his reputation, but it's also damage to his children and I mean, I don't know what the type of relationship they have, but like objectively thinking, I would think that it is like, what are your kids gonna think, say, all that, like, because they already have to deal with their mom's history and paths and whatnot, but then their dad is currently making like doing crazy ass things, like dressing up as a Ku Klux member, or wearing swastikas, and confessing that he sucked his cousin off until he was 14, which is a very wild take.
Right. But how much do his kids know about that? Because they're all still pretty young, right? Except for North.
They're all pretty young, but it's also on the internet, so it's like anybody can be like, "This is what your dad said."
Them.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it.
And
depends.
it also follows them too. Like it's not gonna be erased from time or whatever.
That's true. But I think if they're younger, it's not going to affect them until they get older if they don't know about it.
Right.
Which either way, it still sucks that it's going to eventually affect them.
Absolutely.
But he's not thinking about that.
But I like it's funny because we say that he's not thinking about it, and I would think that if he was a deadbeat father, he wouldn't think about it. But he's like I feel like he's shown enough that he's in his kid's life that it would be thought about.
But I think that if you have tendencies like he does, like he obviously has some narcissistic tendencies, right? So like that means he is his whole world, and yeah, he can care about other people, he can have these other people in his life, he can love other people, but he's self-centered, so the very first person he thinks about is always him. So he might even think, my kids aren't going to see this until they're older, and then by then it won't matter if he does think about it at all.
Do you think that his kids will break free from him, like not want anything to do with him?
I think they might. I think North is very intelligent.
Yeah, she's like at least 12 by now.
She's extremely intelligent,
and she's a star.
You can see the way she interacts with Kim too. Like, she makes her own choices about when she wants to be on camera. She makes her own choices about the things that she wants to be involved in, and I think at some point she will make that decision. I don't know about the other kids.
Do you keep up with the Kardashians?
No.
Oh, it sounds like it, the way that you're describing it.
I just see, like, clips and stuff. Like, I don't watch the show, but I think I've seen enough. I follow North on TikTok, and that's the only Kardashian. It's the only affiliation to the Kardashians that I really keep up with, because I just think, like, you are a product of your environment, and it can go positively or negatively. And I think she's going to definitely come out more positive from her environment because she's very strong-willed.
Right. I feel like she'll choose to, if he's acting how he's acting, she might choose to step away, versus if he's acting like he's having a good day or a good month or whatever, be like, okay, I want to see dad. He's on his good shit or whatever.
Yeah.
Wild though.
Wild.
Do you have anything else to say on this topic?
No.
I don't think so. But what we could do is do a Am I the Asshole?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. All right, bet. So let's find an Am I the Asshole that is worthy of this podcast. Honestly, there's also relationship advice. How do you feel about relationship advice? I know you took your stance of being both. You're good for both? All right, because relationship advice is so peak, as the kids would say.
I have a good relationship, so I think I'm qualified.
All right, let's do this. This one's kind of light. What was the best relationship advice you ever got?
The best relationship advice I ever got was probably pick your battles, and you're a team. You're not against each other.
Ooh, that's healthy. I like that. That's good. I like that. That's good shit. Pick your battles, and you're not a team, or you are a team. You're not against each other.
Yeah,
that's good shit.
Why do you want to live in a house with somebody who you're constantly going back and forth with? Like, just talk it out, figure it out, and how can you work together to? Everyone has to compromise, right? Like, that's life. And if you're unwilling to do that with your partner, then maybe you're not with the right person.
Gotcha. The best relationship advice I've gotten, and it's healthy, but it's not as positive as yours. I guess it depends on who you ask. But it is, if someone shows you who they are, believe them.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Really? You think so?
Absolutely.
I like yours better because it was more so. Mine is more so like acceptance, accepting like that it's not the right person or whatever. Yours is more so like it's acceptance, but it's like it's not. It's like keeping the relationship together. Mine's more so like accepting that this is not a good fit or whatever. So like I feel like yours is more for somebody who is might be going through it or having bad communication skills or whatever the case may be is, and they can mend that if they love the person. Mine is more so if like, okay, if they're really an asshole, they're really like not a good fit, you need to acknowledge that, realize that, and keep it moving and whatnot.
I think that's good advice for like when you're dating, right? Like if you're single and you're out there dating, like someone will show you who they are right away. Like if you feel it, if there's that red flag, believe that red flag.
Okay.
Walk away from those red flags.
I like that interpretation. Let's see. Is there anything else we could do as far as relationship? Relationship advice is nice. That was crazy. Okay. All right. Let's just get in my ass because these people are going through it. Wait. I stand corrected. Relationship advice needed, please, ASAP.
Oh God. Okay.
So I have a girlfriend I have been with for a decent period of time. It is a serious relationship, but I have a friend I have had for many years that I have very strong feelings for, who feels the same, but my current girlfriend is very loving and great. I just don't know if we click or if she's the one I should be with. What should I do? ? I really need help on this advice. Appreciated. Male 18, female 19, female 19. Well, first of all,
they're teenagers.
First off, shout out to you because you're dating up. I respect it. And question. This is a silly question, but 18 and 19, you're an adult.
But you're still a teenager.
Are teenagers adults?
Yeah, but like.
Question. This is a question. I want to know your answer because I was arguing about this with somebody.
I mean, they're adults, but they don't have the decision-making skills that you have at like 25 or 26.
That's true, but he's still in this situation, so it's like
he is.
He can't be like, hey, I don't have the right decision-making skills.
No, he doesn't, and that's why he's asking for advice on this, right? Like,
I mean, but there are 25 and 26 years old.
Oh yeah. I mean, it also depends on your life and how you grow up,
exactly,
and like how you mature. But
what do you think?
I think there's a reason that him and this friend have never gotten together.
Which is?
We don't know. Okay. And that's something he would have to explore. Like, if you've been friends for that long and you've had feelings, then how come you've never been together? I actually have an experience with this. Not recently, but growing up, I had a best friend that we had always had feelings for each other.
Okay.
And timing never worked out.
Okay.
We even went to college down the street from each other. We always hung out, but we never dated.
Right.
And, you know, at one point we were like, people would ask us, how come you've never dated? And I'd be like, I know his history with women. That's why we never dated, because I knew how he treated his girlfriends.
Oof.
And I knew I was always there.
You still have feelings for him?
Then?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. Because we were so close.
Okay.
Like, and...
That didn't turn you off, though? Like the way he treated women?
Thinking back to it, the reason I didn't like the way he treated women was because I knew I was always there. Like, he would have a girlfriend, but he would always still be talking to me. And that was my thought was, would he do that to me?
Okay.
So,
interesting. That's
what happened. So I think in this case, he needs to explore why have they never...
Question to you, with that person, out of curiosity, did you ever cross that line?
No.
So he would have a girlfriend and he would talk like flirtations with you?
Yeah.
And that would just be it?
Yeah, and no, like this started, I was like 14 when we first started, like we first became friends. We met at this... Anyone who grew up near Poughkeepsie would probably remember the like under 18 like club.
Yo, we had one in Kingston. I never went. It was like the teen room or some shit like that.
I think it was called Studio 33.
Okay.
And there were certain nights that you could like go, and it was everyone under 18. Well, that's where I met him. And we...
Under what?
18.
Oh, under 18, okay.
Yeah, so I was 14 or 15. He was like 2 years older than me.
Okay.
And then we like started talking, and I was like really young then, so, and we didn't have texting back then. So, yeah. We would call each other on the phone.
That's cute. I like that. Oh, yeah. I mean, y'all should have like at least explored that.
But then when like I got older and I could drive, like I would hang out at his house with his friends all the time.
Let me get this straight, Sarah. So you feel like anyone who didn't get together, they didn't get together for a reason, like for a good reason?
Maybe not.
Okay, because
that's why I mean he needs to explore that. Like, is there a good reason he's never gotten with
explore
his
it like
friend?
mentally, not explore it like physically.
Yeah, like mentally. Like he needs to sit down in his 18-year-old mind and say, why have I never dated my friend? And then if he can't come up with a reason.
But what if it turns out to be the case that he hasn't dated her because she was always with someone, he was always with someone, so it never got to that point?
Well, then if she's not with someone now and he's feeling iffy about his girlfriend, then he needs to break up with his girlfriend because that's not fair to his girlfriend.
Okay, so he should pursue his longtime friend that he's had feelings for.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, I agree with you, to be honest.
As a teenager.
Especially, yeah, that's what I was going to say. I was going to say, like, if they're 18, 19, you might as well, like, it's not like, I mean.
It could end up being his wife or whatever someday.
The girlfriend or the friend?
The friend or the girlfriend. I don't know. We don't know. It could go either way, right? But I think it's worth him thinking about it.
Right. I think that at 18, 19, that is the prime time to explore your, like, you should be dating, you should be having friends, you should be exploring the horizon. Unless you find someone, this is it, this is who I want to marry, this is who I want to have kids with. And whatnot, and then you don't fuck up that situation, obviously.
Yeah.
I think that was valid, good relationship advice.
Thanks.
See, and this is the type of relationship advice you don't even have to deal with people be like, "Oh, I didn't want to hear that. I just want to hear this."
Yeah. No, because I've gotten that before.
Right, and they might not. Maybe they, as far as I know, they might not get it, but somebody else might.
Yeah.
Who's going through a similar situation.
The same thing, yeah.
Kendrick Jones gave us a thumbs up. Shout out to you, Kendrick Jones. I appreciate you. If you're on YouTube or Facebook, make sure that you comment or subscribe or ask a question and whatnot, because we will be responding to you in real time. What is good? So I guess I'm in Am I the Asshole, but there are people in Am I the Asshole on Reddit that are looking for relationship advice.
Oh, okay.
So Sarah says I'm
Sounds
down.
good.
I'm down. Advice on my relationship. I have been with my boyfriend for 6 months. So this is your area.
Okay.
Well, not that what she's saying, but like it's coming from a girl.
A girl, yeah.
I've been with my boyfriend for 6 months. The relationship has been going quite well overall. However, the only problem we've been having is intimacy.
Okay.
You get that? You understand that?
Sure.
Why the fuck are you having intimacy problems in 6 months?
Oh, okay, yeah, you're right.
No. I'm literally asking because as a guy, if I'm with a girl for 6 months, I'm not having intimacy
we need
problems.
to hear the rest.
Right. Because
we need to see what side it's coming from.
Okay.
Right?
That's true. I am someone who likes to ease into these kind of things slowly, and I have been with someone else sexually before him, and he's never been with anybody. We are at a point now where we make out, touch each other, touch each of his privates. Fucking no.
Okay.
See, that's crazy. Basically do everything but have sex every time we meet up a day or two before. His balls are super blue. before he'll be messaging me constantly asking what we're gonna do, and it really stresses me out because it makes me feel pressure to do stuff, and I don't want to commit to doing anything in case I don't feel like it at the time.
Okay.
In parentheses, I don't have a very high sex drive.
Did she say how old she is?
She did not.
Okay.
We've also had a problem where I don't like sending nudity pictures.
Okay.
But I could tell he really wanted me to do so. He really wanted me to, so I sent him a boob pic, and he sent me a peen as well. That was fine, and I quite enjoyed it. Then he started sending me them quite a lot, about one per day.
Oh God. Okay.
Yo, never been the type. Hilarious. One per day, and I had to ask him to stop because it was getting a bit much, and family/friends nearly saw it.
Oh God.
Then today he's been asking me for more pics. I sent him another pic, and then he's asking me for more at different angles, and I had to tell him to stop. He did apologize, but I'm not really sure how to breach this because I'm concerned it could cause a bad argument at some point. Side note, we are both... What are they? What do you think they are?
I don't know.
Side note, we are both autistic.
Okay.
I don't know if that's relevant, but I feel it should be mentioned. That was it. That's the whole thing. That's tea. That's the sauce. That's everything.
Okay. I mean, they've been dating 6 months, so obviously their communication isn't very good yet.
They're autistic, so obviously their communication isn't at its highest.
Right. Although some people on the spectrum just tell you like it is, right? Like they just tell you like what they're thinking. Right. So that could go either way.
That's fucking not hilarious, but that's like honestly fucking cool because they got Love is on the Spectrum on Netflix.
That's one of my favorite shows.
The way that you said hilarious, but like that means that it was true. Like that's like I don't how many seasons are there? 2?
2.
I think I've seen the first season. I haven't seen the second season.
I cried every episode of the second season.
Okay, gotcha.
It's so beautiful.
So then you should be given the best type of advice for this. Not only are you a woman, obviously this is coming from a woman, but you also like are a huge Love on the Spectrum fan. So go off.
I think she needs help, like learning how to communicate with him. I think that's in any relationship. Communication is the number one thing you need to have, and if you don't have it, which you're not going to have perfect communication after 6 months. So I think at 6 months, it's worth the attempt to communicate this because it's only 6 months. So you're not that invested into a relationship in 6 months. Right. So if you have this conversation and it pushes them away, see ya. Like, not that big of a deal. It's 6 months.
Well, is it not that big of a deal to a person who has autism? Because they might feel like they found that, like, you got a whole show that's called Love's on the Spectrum, and they, like, set up, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but
it ends up being a big deal. It might be a big deal if someone is on the spectrum.
But she said that she's been with somebody else before. Right,
which makes me wonder why... not, like... To each his own. And especially if you're on the spectrum, like, you obviously got to take it however you need to take it, like, slow, fat, whatever you're into, but I do wonder what's the difference between the one that she's been with versus this guy currently,
right?
Who she's like clearly looking for like advice or with a relationship advice or whatever. But she also did say that she doesn't have a high sex drive, so maybe it took like a year for the first guy or whatever.
Right. I guess the hard thing with these is we can't ask probing questions to get down to the bottom of the true issue. But I think she just needs to pull the Band-Aid and talk to him.
What's interesting about this is like people have given her advice and she has responded to the people, and I can see I never did that before, so it's good shit. Someone said you need to set boundaries and he needs to respect it, because if he keeps pushing something you don't want to do, that's not cool. Have a calm talk with him and hear each other's sides. She said, I think I always feel guilty for wanting to move slowly, unless maybe why I haven't been firm with my boundaries. I think I feel guilty for wanting to take it slow, and that causes me to hold my boundaries.
Okay.
That's all I got.
I mean, they gave her the right advice. You have to talk to them. And if she's feeling guilty about it, she needs to talk to him. Right?
That makes sense to me. That makes sense to me.
And most of these things and most of these people asking for relationship advice, the answer is going to be you need to communicate with your partner.
Yeah. Or leave them.
Or leave.
Yeah.
That's like...
That makes sense.
You have to put in the effort. If you don't put in the effort, you're never going to solve anything.
Well,
That's a long one.
No, let's say, how do you feel about reading?
I'm good at reading.
Do you like reading?
I read books.
Oh, fuck yeah. There you go. And this is like looks like, am I the asshole for telling my wife I want a divorce after she gave me a concussion?
You want me to read it?
Absolutely.
Okay. So after work, I was playing with my son and went to the kitchen to throw out a diaper. When I walked into the room, my wife started shouting at me, claiming I hadn't been doing anything since I got home. Mind you, I had just spent 2 hours cleaning the kitchen, washing dishes, picking up the living room, and putting my daughter to bed before going to the living room to play with my son while I continued to pick up.
Can you run that list back? I'm sorry. The only reason I'm interrupting, because I told you that there was the one guy that does that joint, and it's like,
we could do that.
Cool.
Okay. So he had been cleaning the kitchen for 2 hours. He was washing the dishes, picked up the living room, put his daughter to bed, and then he went in to play with his son while he was still picking up.
What she ask her to do? What she asked him to do?
No, she just said, he said he walked into the room and his wife started shouting at him, claiming he hadn't been doing anything since he got home.
Oh, so she didn't even ask him to do anything, but she's saying that he hasn't been doing anything, but he's been doing something all day.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Okay. So this next part says, I was frustrated by her comment and asked her what she meant and outlined everything I had been doing. I left the room and started to walk up the stairs to my living room. I was struck in the side of the head with a sealed cardboard box weighing about 2 pounds. This was from about 15 feet away and thrown at full force, so I was dazed for a moment.
All right, pause. I'm sorry.
Yep.
Respectfully pause. What would you do? Why? I don't even know. Societally? No, that's not it.
Societally.
Is that it?
Yeah,
Society would say.
Yeah.
It would be, you can't even be in those shoes. Like if a guy hits you with a cardboard box, if your husband hits you with a cardboard box, y'all are probably getting what would you do if your husband hit you with a cardboard box in the head?
Yeah, that's grounds for divorce. Absolutely.
Okay. Well, I'm just making sure. I don't want to assume.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, I don't think it would necessarily be the same way in reverse.
It should be.
I don't think your husband would say. My
husband would say that.
No way.
Absolutely, he would say that.
I bet you he wouldn't say that.
I know that he would. He would. We have absolutely agreed. A non-negotiable is hands on each other or throwing things or hurting each other.
Okay, so you guys have had that
that is
conversation.
a non-negotiable.
You've had that conversation?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you had that conversation, then okay. Because I just feel like, even with Christy, I would be like, what the fuck? But I don't think I would necessarily be like a grounds for a breakup or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think it should be different either way.
Sarah, I want to test your comfortability. How comfortable do you feel like calling husband and asking him?
I'll call. I don't know what he's doing, but I can call him.
Is he at work?
No, it's Sunday at 5:30.
I don't know what the fuck he does. So
he works from home.
Oh, lit. So
do you want me to call him?
Please.
Right now?
Please.
Or you want to wait till we're done?
No, okay. I want to call him right now. Put him on speaker.
He might actually be watching. I don't know.
And I want to know what he would do. Would you? Honestly, I want to know if he would divorce. That's really all I want to know.
Okay, hold on. He knows I'm on here, obviously, so.
Makes sense. Hopefully he's enjoying the show. His name's Matt, right?
Mike.
Close.
It was an M.
Right. Matt McGrath sounds like a...
That's a drummer.
Really?
Yeah.
That's insane.
Hello?
Hey.
Hey, what's up?
Are you watching the live right now?
I'm behind, but I'm watching it.
Okay. So, I'm reading this Am I the Asshole thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know those?
Yeah.
And so, there's this part where the wife throws a 2-pound box at her husband and it hits him in the head. And Jelani asked me
what would you do?
What would you do? Like, would that be grounds for divorce?
If you threw a 2-pound box at my head?
And it hit you and you got a concussion.
Why did you throw a 2-pound box at my head, I guess?
Because I was being crazy and said you did nothing, even though you did a bunch of stuff all day.
I mean, that's a weird one. I mean, because if I was guilty of it, then, I mean, maybe not.
You were not guilty.
Oh, I'm not guilty. Oh, then yeah. Probably, I would definitely be considering divorce. If you threw a box at me without any, like, substantial information to go on, you know?
Right, like, if you were cheating on me and I threw a box at your head, you'd be like, I deserve that, but...
Yeah, exactly.
Good enough for me.
But yeah, no, if you just thought I was and you had no proof and I said no and you just threw it anyway, then yeah, that's definitely...
Yeah.
That's definitely, I'd have to consider a divorce on that. Yeah, 100%.
I told you, I know my husband.
I like it. I'm happy for you. So
okay.
Don't throw any boxes at
Don't throw any boxes at his head. Okay, thanks, babe.
Thanks, no problem.
Okay, love you, bye.
Yeah, love you, bye.
I like it.
Okay. Okay. After confronting her about why she did this, she continued to yell at me and didn't show any concern. Upset and in quite a bit of pain, I went to sit with my son and process what had just happened. After about 45 minutes, I was experiencing a growing headache and having some problems with the muscles in the right side of my face and jaw.
Hit him in the face?
Yeah.
Oh, the face is tough. Like, the back of the head is like, okay, but the face is like, damn.
No. So I gave her my son and told her I had to go to the ER because something wasn't right. I ended up spending the night in a hotel and the next day began contacting resources and scheduling follow. I think he meant and scheduling follow-up medical and mental health appointments.
Typos are terrible.
What?
Typos are terrible when you're trying to read it. It's like, oh.
So the headache lasted 8 days and I experienced a wide range of symptoms related to head injuries. I missed over a full week of work and it has been a pretty difficult experience navigating all my emotions while recovering and experiencing some bizarre cognitive issues. Needless to say, I've been keeping my distance from my wife while I've been recovering. Okay. So, over the last few years, I've also been dealing with regular emotional abuse in the form of insults, constant belittling, and threats of divorce. This is probably the 6th incident of violent behavior from her in the last 7 years.
6th is crazy.
Yeah, and the only time she had used an object, and I have serious concern that she could have just as easily thrown something that could have broken my skull. I'm now seriously concerned about what will happen next time, and I'm not willing to wait and find out, only to realize I should have left long ago. She has no diagnosed mental health disorders, but how out of control she is when she is angry is now very alarming, and it seems to be escalating. Additionally, she refuses to apologize for any of her words or actions since I met her. Even after... I was just going to say that. Even after a diagnosed concussion, all she will say regarding this event are things like, "You know I didn't mean it. I can't aim that well." Yeah, okay. Over the last week, I was essentially living in a blacked out bedroom and listening to audiobooks between my frequent naps. Up to yesterday, I have avoided engaging her in conversation or anything that seems like I'm being baited into an argument. I don't have the mental or emotional capacity to handle an emotionally charged conversation and wanted to focus on my recovery. Last night, I told her I've been walking on eggshells around her for the last year. I'm not comfortable being around her and don't see there being any way to mend the relationship after this. I just don't see myself being able to emotionally open up to someone who has injured me, ever. Her response has been to schedule marriage counseling, and she keeps making strange comments about how I have to be willing to make it work for counseling to be effective. She doesn't seem to have the ability to understand that this won't ever be water under the bridge and that she's destroyed what was left of our relationship, which isn't much as there has been no physical intimacy in 2 years due to some medical complications from the pregnancy and birth of our son. Okay. Well. She refuses any physical contact, and lately I've been struggling with the idea of continuing to live this strange celibate lifestyle for the sake of maintaining a stable home for my children. Is it stable though? I've been open about this with my close friends and mentors and know I need to leave because domestic violence rarely stops and I want better for myself and my children. I decided to pursue divorcing her, and I think a large part of telling so many people is to force my own hand due to the embarrassment and shame that staying with her would cause. I told the therapist this and that I want this help navigating towards this goal, but I'm having a hard time. I'm struggling with the idea of tearing my family apart and the effect it will have on my 4-year-old daughter. Today she was being unusually sweet and wanted to sit with me. When I refused, she made me out to be the asshole and accused me of not wanting to try. I feel like I'm being heavily manipulated and my desire to be the peacemaker and nurturer is being twisted against me. When I mentioned this, she got highly offended and accused me of wanting to destroy our family. This has been a wild experience and has been difficult to process. I have no experience with emotional or physical abuse in a relationship prior to this. Am I being the asshole for refusing to entertain opening up to her or participate in couples therapy due to the fear of being manipulated? Should I stick to what I know to do intellectually and totally ignore my emotions and stick to my initial instinct to leave her? Do you want me to read the follow-up? Or
no, that's all right. That is a fucking book. What do you think about that?
He definitely needs to leave her.
It's a wrap?
Yeah, absolutely. If he's already feeling like there's no going back, then there's no going back. And I don't think there should be a going back. I don't think that she should be allowed to mentally or physically abuse him just because she's a woman. I don't think that's right.
Yeah, I agree. I was gonna give her the benefit of the doubt with the box throwing, but if it's like the 6th time, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's it's a pattern.
Right, exactly, and it's like it's wild because like obviously, as a married couple, you would think that wouldn't be the case because like to get married, you have to be dating someone for however long. So it's like it's wild, huh?
Well. Some people don't wait that long, but yeah.
But you would think anyway.
Yeah.
Like, so it's like, and they got a 4-year-old. So like with that, at least like, and I don't know, who knows if that's even their oldest child or whether they got children.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. You would just think that wouldn't be the case, especially from the woman's perspective, because women are like generally more gentle than men, in my opinion.
Yeah, right.
But
I mean, they've been together at least 7 years because. You know, he said it's happened 6 times in the last 7 years.
Right.
So, did something happen? Like, postpartum depression is real. I don't know if that had an effect on her.
I mean, did she just have a child? Because like postpartum isn't like the rest of your life.
It can be.
The rest of your life?
Yeah, if it goes untreated, it can develop into depression. Can develop into many things.
Well, don't tell anybody else that. Not even don't tell anybody else that, but it's like I just feel like that's crazy. Postpartum can postpartum last the rest of your life is the question I gotta ask.
And it gets worse if you have more children. Okay. If you like have postpartum with one child and then you don't take care of it and you have another child, it can get worse.
That's crazy. That like not even like that in my opinion. No, postpartum doesn't typically last a lifetime.
But it can lead to other depression.
Okay.
That's kind of what I'm getting at. Like the actual postpartum, right? Like it can go away, but that can lead to other depression, right? Because your postpartum can affect your relationships, which can affect your mental health.
Right, and if you have like past traumas and things of that nature, then obviously it definitely does make sense.
And it gets worse with each child that you have.
Well, that is not great. Women definitely have the short end of the stick.
Yeah. Shit sucks.
Would you like to do another Am I the Asshole? Like that was a relation one. Would you like to do Am I the Asshole that isn't relationship based?
Sure.
All right, so I'm just gonna read you three Am I the Assholes, and you tell me which one you want to do. Okay. Am I the asshole for sending my ex's wife a binder documenting his abuse after I found out she was pregnant? Wild. Am I the asshole for thinking Reddit gives the worst relationship advice? Am I the asshole that snort is like is locked in? Am I the asshole for telling my wife not to come to my ex-wife's funeral to support my daughter because my daughter doesn't want her there? Would I be the asshole if I break up with my fiance after he said he won't take care of me and our 3-month-old son while admitted at the hospital?
These are all relationships.
Right? Yeah, they are. But that's not my fault.
No, I know. I'm just saying.
That was crazy. Boyfriend. I think Am I the Asshole is always relationships.
I think so too.
Yeah, I was. I thought.
I don't care if it is.
What did you hear anyone that's like stuck out to you?
I can't remember all of them. The one
I can't remember all.
With the taking care of the fiance not taking care of them.
That's the one that stuck out to you? Okay.
Yeah.
Would I...
Is it long again?
Definitely about to pass this off.
Yeah.
Would I be the asshole if I break up with my fiance after he said he won't take care of me and our 3-month-old son while admitted at the hospital?
No, you're not. Anyway. Okay. Oh, there's an update. Okay. So, original post is, our 3-month-old is admitted for pneumonia. He got it while visiting my family, and the reason why we were forced to visit is because I need help taking care of our son. We've been staying at fiance's home with his family since I gave birth, and while his mom helps, she's been out of town recently. The rest of his family does a little bit from time to time, but it's never really anything significant. He has a full-time job, so he can only truly help out on the weekends. I haven't been sleeping well for a while because I'm exclusively breastfeeding. And a few days ago, I really felt like my body couldn't handle the exhaustion anymore. So I asked my parents if we could stay over for a while. My parents are very hands-on grandparents. When the baby's not feeding, they take him so I can rest. Unfortunately, one of them caught the flu and passed it on to my baby. And now he is admitted for pneumonia. My fiance didn't want him admitted. He wanted to bring him home and just give him meds orally, but I persisted because the pediatrician strongly advised the need for IV antibiotics. Once at the hospital, things got worse because they had to try multiple times to get an IV line on him and kept failing. That's sad. Finally, fiance kept telling me it's my fault for bringing him over to my parents and for agreeing to get him admitted. He was so distraught, I saw him crying while holding our baby. It's the first time I've ever seen him cry. Pediatrician says our baby might stay for a minimum of 3 days just until he gets the antibiotics and clears the infection. He might have to bring him home with the IV line and give him the antibiotics at home. The problem is, if his IV line gets blocked or gets out of vein, we'll have to have it reinserted. I was supposed to finish my maternity leave this week, but decided to extend my unpaid leave for 1 week. I've asked him to take a leave as well, as he has plenty of leaves left, and also he has a 5-day mandatory leave he needs to fulfill. But now he says he won't do it. He'll go to work and I should ask my family for help while our son's in the hospital since it's their fault. He's here. When he said it, I was so dumbfounded he would even consider saying these things. I just replied with, okay, and haven't spoken to him since. He's still in the hospital with us now, but says he won't be staying tomorrow. When I ask him for simple things like, please pass me the water or elevate the head of the bed, things I can't do since I'm holding the baby, he does them begrudgingly. I'm so heartbroken by this. At a time when we should be supporting each other, he chooses to antagonize me in every step and decides to leave me hanging. I'm devastated that on top of worrying about our baby's health and being the primary caregiver, he springs all this on me. I can't help but think that this isn't how it's supposed to be, and I don't want a future like this. I know there will be many more difficult things we will have to go through in the future, and it's scary to think he'll act this way when those times come. I'm debating telling him that if he doesn't take care of us during this time, he should consider the engagement off, and my son and I will move out and stay with my family once he gets discharged. A huge part of me wants him to come around and for us to fix things. I haven't told my family this yet because it would feel like the final nail in the coffin for our relationship if they know he's acting this way.
What are your thoughts?
I think if he's unwilling to communicate with her, then yeah, she should leave.
Right.
Remember we were talking earlier about, like, if you're unwilling to be a team, be a partner,
right,
then what's the sense of being in a relationship? If you're just going to do everything in spite of your partner, then why are you together?
Right.
Like, you should be figuring out how to make it work and supporting each other rather than trying to get revenge on them or doing something in spite of them.
Right. Weird shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. She doesn't sound like the asshole. He sounds like the asshole.
Yeah.
Do you think two assholes should be together? Like a toxic.
Yeah, I think they deserve
toxic
each
people
other.
deserve each other. Like, it sounds like
unless there's a child involved, then I think.
Then what do you think?
Then I don't think that they should be together because then it affects the child.
That makes sense. It sounds like I think the girlfriend that threw the box should be with this guy.
Yeah.
That would be.
They can just go back and forth.
Right.
Yeah.
It'd be hilarious. Not hilarious because honestly sad. It's
doing
honestly
things
sad.
To spite each other.
Right, but that would be like a funny thing to like be a fly on the wall or like watching, observing. But yeah, that is all the topics. Is there anything else you might want to discuss or talk about before we wrap things up?
No.
Well,
I don't think so.
If you want to tell the people what you have going on or any handles that you want to give them so they can follow you.
I don't really have anything on.
Sarah is a private girly. What's it called? So how did you feel about the podcast experience?
I liked it.
Okay. Would you come back?
Yeah.
Beautiful, because I would love to have you back with other people too, because you could, like I said, you never know what other people are gonna say. Yeah. Especially, I have a couple characters in mind that are like wild. So yeah, we'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
Hopefully the next time you come back, there'll be other people here and you can interact and see what I'm talking about.
Okay, cool.
Cool. Well, Sarah, I appreciate you coming through.
Yep.
If you watch this far, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and as always, we will see you next time.